Hello, everybody. Carrie Cox here. So, I want to talk today. I actually did a blog this week on bacteria in the brain and the brain gut access. And I kind of wanted to deep dive further into bacteria. I know a lot of people, when they come into my office, have a lot of fear and almost freak out about parasites, bacteria, and they want to be sterile. They feel like if they have all that in their body, it's a negative. Realize that we are bacteria, and I'm sure if you guys are too into health here or into it quite a bit, you've heard a lot of discussions on this, I'm sure. But if bacteria itself, if we do not have the bacteria, we basically are sterile, and if we are sterile, we are dead. This is how we live. But I wanted to zone in specifically to the bacteria in the gut. The bacteria in the gut, we are meant to have good bacteria and bad bacteria. It's all supposed to be within the gut and be in a balanced ratio. The problem is in this day and age, we have too much foods that feed and create a thriving environment for the bad bacteria. Why I say bad is that when the bacteria are in balance, your bacteria are actually creating beneficial things. So the bad bacteria can create our vitamin K. Vitamin K is necessary for bones and things like that. So they are technically bad bacteria, but when the body has a balance there, all the bacteria within the gut do positive things because of the chemicals, because of birth control, because of medications, because of antibiotics. And antibiotics, you do not have to be taking actual antibiotics to be exposed to the antibiotics. Anymore, we're spraying it on the plants, we're injecting it into the animals. It's in all our food system itself. So oftentimes there are foods that you're eating and you're getting antibiotics without even realizing it. So it's damaging the body itself. Ultimately, eating as raw as possible is very important. I actually was listening to a, well, it wasn't really a podcast, but a video this week, and it was talking about the gentleman who created Seed to Table, and he was discussing how he saw it was so important for us to be generating our own foods, generating them close. And when this whole situation, the pandemic with everything getting shut down, he was able to keep his stores fully stocked and ready to go because he was using local sources. But also, by using local sources, you are able to see the quality of what you're getting and how much when he actually was doing his own farming, which he actually does for his store, he does a good chunk of the farming, that when he was using organic actual natural ways of fertilizing his farm, the foods that he was creating were that much more tasty and nutrient plentiful. So you'll find that the processes a lot of these companies are doing, even if they're organic, they're still using an organic chemical factor, or they're just not doing it in the natural process of things. This is often why I'm coming and showing you how to make things from scratch, like butter, like breads, which I'm going to be putting out, like my pizza dough. Things that you can make from scratch. While it takes more of your time, I get it's not always convenient, but you can set it up in times that you have more time to go in and create your own stuff and then store it yourself. The benefit of that is not the problem, the benefit, but the benefit is that when I'm making my own butter, I'm making it from raw cream. I'm not sterilizing it. I know as how it's been stored. The salt that's being put into it, I know is good quality salt. I know how I'm storing it. I'm using it. I'm not putting a bunch of preservatives in it. I'm not putting it through a process that's going to rid it of all the benefits from it. And there are good benefits of the omega 3s, the vitamin K, the vitamin A. There's different aspects to it. Raw butter itself has been shown to have great benefits for people with arthritis and helping to deal with the joints and everything there too. We lose a lot of that goodness when we buy it. Even the good quality, when we're buying it, a lot of the processes that they have to put the food through kills the bacteria, kills the beneficial vitamins and minerals that are in there. So we get a food that's completely void of what we need to be getting from it. And that is just like the bacteria that we need alive and thriving to keep us alive. Same with these minerals and everything else that are coming in it. That's how we're keeping ourselves alive and thriving. So bacteria and feeding them and keeping them in balance and not over embellishing in foods that are easy to eat that may be devoiding our body of the ability to keep that in balance is very important, specifically to that small intestine, because that small intestine area is where when you chew up food and it gets to that stomach, the stomach acidity is very important to pre-digest all your foods. Once it falls out of that into these smaller areas of the small intestine, that first little chunk, that triggers the rest of the digestive process to happen. But those bacteria in that small intestine are how we are converting that nutrients, how we are even helping them to thrive or die off. If we're having food that's getting stuck in between, that's causing a buildup on the intestinals, we not only do that, most people understand it with the celiacs, is that we get a coating over there because of the gluten. But I don't think people understand that these heavily processed foods that the body can't digest can also fall down in between there and create a buildup and a negative aspect for the intestines itself and cause a lot of negativity when it comes to digestion. It's not just about wheat. It's not just about the gluten. There are other factors of foods that are not getting digested properly because of the imbalance of bacteria that can't digest things that's causing a problem. And the thing is that the reason I hit this so much is because the gut and that digestion and those bacteria are the starting point. They're the starting point for your immune system. They're the starting point of nourishing your entire body. They're the starting point of your mental health. There's so many things that are coming from that thriving and doing well. And it is one of the easier areas to get in and do simple things to support it. And if you can do these simple things, things like I have a lot of my patients on the fermented garlic, which is helping with clearing bacteria and supporting collagen factors and all these things, or fermented foods. You can do sauerkraut, kimchi, Greek yogurt, actual Greek yogurt, and you want these things to be organic and you want them to be the refrigerated aisle so they do have the good bacteria in them. You don't want to be going to the store and be taking the probiotic pills that have a high dose of one thing. The different bacteria do different things for the body in digestion and what they are supporting. It's just like only eating one form of amino acid. The rest of your body can't rebuild with that same just one amino acid. You need the variety to rebuild the skin, the muscle, the everything. So when we get a lot of these, even supplement wise, we're not getting the whole spectrum. And that is a problem, especially when it comes to our bacteria. We do not want a sterile environment, taking antacids that are alkalizing the stomach so that we cannot digest. I am blown away at some of these things that people are on for life. It's amazing. It's no wonder they're having a total breakdown, their bones, their muscle, their everything, because you can't digest properly. And doctors see that as a positive versus you having too much acidity that may burn your esophagus. How about we look at balancing and what's causing that? Very rarely do people have too much acidity, but yet I would say one of the biggest medications that people come in on are antacids all the time. And they're miserable if they're not taking it, because there's, after you've been on it for so long, there is definitely a process you have to go through to come off of it. You cannot come off them cold turkey without causing yourself some grief. But yet, these are things that were meant to be on for a day or two or a week, maybe. But people are on them for years, and this is negatively impacting your bacteria, negatively impacting your digestion. These things are key and important. You need to have a wide variety of bacteria. This is your own little universe inside of you that you are in charge of maintaining and keeping properly functioning. They can be putting out toxins if they're imbalanced. They're putting out neurotoxins that may be causing you issues with the brain or the nerves themselves. They can be impacting how your hormone production is happening. They can be overwhelming the liver with the things that they're pushing out. They're taking quality foods and turning them into something that's not helping to support your body. So gut and gut bacteria have a huge, and the brain is one of those areas that most people will say that you have no control over because of the blood-brain barrier. Well, your gut is a direct connection of how to get that anti-inflammatory, good digestion of fats and get things to that brain to support it. And the gut is one of those places that can have a massive impact on the quality of your brain health itself. So if you have a history of Alzheimer's in your family, if you have a history of Parkinson's disease in your family, genetics are a factor of even the bacteria you're going to have in your body itself. So influencing that bacteria in the gut by the foods you're eating and the environment they have to thrive in. I carry a mutated gene, but I know and have researched deeply into what impacts that from expressing or not, and do things within my diet and my movement and all sorts of different factors to make sure that I am taking care of those factors. So genes can be a part of it. However, 95% of what you're dealing with is going to be about your lifestyle, what you're eating every day, what you're doing consistently. That's not to say that if you eat junk food now and again, you're just gonna die and have bad bacteria. No, it's about the consistency of what you do over time. And sometimes we have phases that we're just not the greatest. That's fine too. I'm not telling you to be perfect. You have to be perfect for this, but if you can get in a way to eat day to day things that need to be supporting the good bacteria and getting that environment thriving, you will impact the rest of your body and the health of your body. So, bacteria are easily influenced and easily something that you can attack and get doing well and convert fairly quickly. But also the one thing we tend to avoid and we tend to sanitize. So if you're wanting the immune system, digestion, mental, emotional, overall health, that is where you need to begin. And if you need some help with how to do that, there are simple things that you can implement. Think I've written blog after blog app on this. I have written and discussed it when it comes to pretty much any of the health factors. It all goes back to how we're digesting, the bacteria that we're feeding and are thriving, and our toxicity. Those are the main things that impact whether we're doing well or we're not doing well. So if you would like some help with your actual gut health and the bacteria and understanding the bacteria, let me know. I can help support and show you different things that you can do for your body. Remember too that bacteria are inside. They're also on our skin. They're also in our sinus passages. They're in our mouth. And we want to have a proper balance of all of that to keep all the health overall working well. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this is information that you can go and apply in your life and achieve better health. Really, I truly am here trying to help people understand basic things. I do protocols with whole food supplements and try to teach people how to apply their foods as well. So if you're needing any help with that, you can sign up for one of my memberships where I can answer any questions and guide you through at your own pace, which is the 25 basic, and then the 75 I get a little more in depth with foods specific for you and going through a depth in protocol. You're also getting discounts on all the supplements and everything I offer, access to all my learning platforms. I do have a bunch of learning pre-recorded information on weight loss, overall health, digestion in my store on my website. You can go. They're not, I try to keep everything fairly cheap just because I really do want people to get an education and achieve better health for themselves and their families. So you can go check that out on my website. I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I will respond to whatever's necessary. I'll also leave some links for my website, the survey that's free that you can do, and even website booking aspects too. So we'll talk to you guys later. You have a great day.